Tana, you know I love Paisanos, but, man, I spent a whole lot of money there this weekend.
They didn't give you a card yet?
A card?
Oh, my bad. I might have to let the rabbit out the hat a little bit. Hey, my man, Iman, give my dog a card or something.
A card? Like an unlimited? Like a black card? A Paisanos black card?
Yeah, I was hoping that, you get you a card, too, since you're the co-host of my show and everything, so.
It was delicious, though.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Y'all better get some. I need that card. Holla at me, Paisanos.
Coming up on the Santana Moss Show, my boy is back, and we talking baby talk with my man, Trav.
It's Team No Sleep over here, Tana, with a newborn in my house, but I will say our guest today always gives me energy.
And what can I say? 89 Ways to Give had a great golf tournament this past weekend, and we're going to talk a little bit about that.
It was great. No taking L's for you, that's for sure. However, the Redskins defense, I got to give them the L. Some unfortunate news out of Ashburn.
Oh, man, that hurts. But the Santana Moss Show starts now.
It's a Santana Moss Show. Number 89, hustle all the time. Travis on the right, hot mic on the left. Every single week, it's a lyrical fact.
Santana Moss Show podcast is back and in full effect. Rob, you can turn my headphones all the way up. I want to hear all this, baby. Let's go.
You can tell somebody's been gone.
Been gone.
You can tell somebody is back.
Listen, I have cabin fever, man. I couldn't wait to get out the house, man.
What's up, man?
Man, everything. I'm tired as hell dealing with this
I just
baby.
Want to tell you, I miss you, man. I mean, you left me hanging. You told me it was going to come. I didn't know it was going to be like that. And Rob was calling on me like, Tana, you coming in the studio?
Like, where's my dog?
It won't be right. It won't be right.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. No. It's good to be here, man. My newborn's doing good. Healthy baby girl, so everyone's happy.
Congrats to that, man.
Yeah, man, but I'm tired as hell.
I was going to ask you. I think I asked you a little bit the other day when we was on the golf course.
Yeah.
How my little dude Coke gonna be, man? Now he got his little, he got a little sister in the house. He had to share that time and all that because he's the baby for so long.
Yes,
so.
We were worried, but so far so good. Yeah. He comes up, he hugs her. He brings her his little toys, his gifts. So far, so good.
Yeah, he done accepted it already.
He's accepted it already, and I'm hoping he's very protective because I want him to beat every guy's ass.
Beat your ass.
That she ever talks to, ever in life.
Straight up.
So we'll get to that golf course thing in a second. I want to pivot to the man on my left. Mm-hmm. I love giving introductions here. I just want to say, we were talking off air a little bit about this. I have seen, I'm not going to name any names. I know Tana won't because he's classier than me. I have seen trainers come up to 8 to the 9 and pitch their product and say, I train so-and-so, you know them, right? They try to get him to co-sign. I've even seen him try to get Santana to come down for a workout. And Tana, God bless his soul, he's respectable as always, but he politely tells them to kick rocks.
Tell him the truth, man.
However, there is one person Santana will stamp, co-sign. He seeked my man out. Yeah. And I'll say another thing before I say this guy's name. In this industry that we work in, you can see us. You can hear us. You can say, whether you love us or hate us, the Santana show, Travis Thomas, I see him, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to athletic training, you don't necessarily get to see or hear the people all the time. Yeah. I have heard of this guy's name well before I ever met him. His reputation precedes itself. It's all good. It's been all positive. It's been all, this guy will get you right. If you're an athlete, if you're an average Joe like me, he'll get you right. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Savage on the Santana Moss Show podcast.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm here now.
How's that for an intro?
I'm here now.
Savage, what's good, man?
Oh, man, honestly, I appreciate y'all, man.
You are notorious, man. You are notorious out here in a good way. And that
big word.
Just the way, I think the way you carry yourself is a big part of it. But also, you're knowledgeable. I mean, you bring the dog out of your clients.
Yeah.
Straight dog.
They bring it out of me. They bring it out of me every day.
That was the question I was going to ask you before we get too deep. How all this came about. Like, where did it stem from? Did you have a background in playing ball or any kind of sport? So
I was dirty. So I was D3. I had came from the mud. You know how that is. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and at the time, I'm from Reston, so I came from South Lakes. It wasn't good at the time. Recruiter wasn't the same. You didn't have huddle. You didn't have the opening. You didn't have we didn't have these tools.
Yeah.
So the coaches that came in was the coaches that came in.
Yeah.
You know, you wasn't winning, you wasn't bringing them in. So, and that, you know, the guys that coached me were not up to par. I'll say that.
You were raw.
Very. But I could play ball. You know what I mean? I knew what to do, but I didn't know how to do it all the way.
Sure.
So that's kind of why I do what I do now. And I mean, I played ball, tore my ACL a couple times, and then I finished my senior season without an ACL, put up some numbers, and I still had people on my phone, so I had to do all my my combine and things a whole year later. I was blessed to do it, but I mean, it didn't work out in my favor.
Sure.
Well, tell me this though, and I ain't mean to cut you off if you had more for me. We talk about this all the time. Folks think that just because you played the game, you could be a guy doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
and I tell them that's not so. You know, I have so many people that tell me, Tana, I want you to come train my kid. Yeah, I probably can get out there with them, but you got to have patience, one, and you have to also know how to teach. You know, you have to know how to be able to instruct someone to do and follow the guidelines that you're trying to set and do it the right way. What's allowed you to be a guy to take what you learned throughout the years of your career and now be able to translate it in a form of saying, okay, now I'm going to teach these guys how I was able to either be successful or to do what I didn't do or to do it a different way than I did it so they can be better?
Great question.
Is that the different way? Because I mean, I was blessed late. I was blessed once I got to college with somebody that would work with me. And I mean, honestly, if I would have had a voice and somebody to tell me point blank what it is and how I'm and how I need to be, how I need to train, what I need to think, who I need to be talking to. If I would have had that earlier, you know, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, when I get, way different.
Yep.
I mean, I'm blessed for where I'm at right now, but, you know, you see the spectrum of what could have been, and then you can either turn your back on it or go to it. And I'd rather see the color than, you know, give it black and white. So, I mean, that's a part of why I do what I do now, where I can tell a kid point blank what it is, how it's going to be, and where it needs to go and what it needs to do.
By the way, congratulations to you. Coach of the Year in Loudoun County?
Yeah, Loudoun County.
That's what's
Wow.
up. That's deep.
That's big, bro.
I had to take over Eddie Mason.
Ooh.
And Eddie's still out there doing his thing a little bit still, right?
Yeah, he would run up.
I know he told me.
You see that?
Put a stamp on it.
But I mean, my man running for like 3 years in a row.
for sure.
He's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah,
And it's crazy
Eddie
because
the man out there.
I met with Eddie probably last year sometime. He had a nutritionist, and I'm one of those guys. I experiment with every and anybody.
You do.
Whoever's doing it right, I'm gonna try to take a little bit from. Drop a jewel to me. You know what I mean? I want something I can put in. And it's crazy. I never got a chance to go back to the girl who works with him, but he was telling me, I went to his gym and saw everything, and then he was saying he'd do a football league also, and he asked me that I want to be a part of it, but I'm pulled so thin these days. I told him, you know what, I'm interested, but I just couldn't.
At a time.
I don't see the time even, you know, opening up no time soon. But that's great to hear that you're in that space. Cause
What league was it?
I don't know. It's something that he's doing something with some football league now.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know, so just to know that you guys you won it and he's running up, you know.
Oh, yeah, but I talk to Eddie all the time.
He's been holding the title for a long time.
I talk to Eddie all the time, too. So it's like, you know, you kind of overstep your big brother, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You know, because, I mean, from day one, and you know a lot of guys, like we said, in this training industry, it's really flooded.
It's not even
It's so saturated.
You don't even have to really be out there competing, though. You know what I mean?
There's so many kids
you
out
can
here.
do what you do. He can do what he do.
everybody
At the end of the day,
different.
if you get the knowledge for being better, then you get the knowledge for being better.
Because you're going to get coached up by 7 different guys when you go to college anyway.
Yeah.
So, like I'm saying, like, he ain't never shown nothing but love. You know what I mean? And that's all it was. Like, I mean, I just took the title this year.
For me, what sets you apart, though, I think, is a lot of times it's even like coaching in sports where sometimes you have a great recruiter, but maybe his X's and O's aren't great. Sometimes you have an X and O guy, but maybe he's not a people person, can't recruit. He's got to get assistance to do that part of it. To me, you're the rare combination of a guy whose program works, results speak for themselves, but you also have this huge personality, which I can only imagine translates to motivating these athletes.
Yeah. I give him me. I give him the truth.
Right.
If I ain't there, they ain't going to be there. You know, you know how it is. I did Santana's camp last year. When, I mean, like the first day, you know, everybody kind of getting used to each other, and the kids, you know, they kind of feeling each other out. I'm going to give you me from the jump. And I mean, that's what I think he respected.
Spiced it up. He spiced it up. And I, you know, that's why I gave you that text this year. Like, hey, you know what, man? You came a couple of days. Come and run this thing. We'll take care of you. You know, I'll take care of you myself personally.
You know, big blessing.
You know, and that come run it.
You said he stamped me, but he stamped me with that.
You know, and I just feel like because at the end of the day, you know, we're not in no industry, regardless of what industry it is,
right? To
just be that guy. You want to be able to bless others if they're doing the same thing. I'm not out here to try to take nothing from nobody. I'm trying to bless these kids.
No doubt.
To have the guidance from somebody like myself or anybody that I feel like can guide them down the right path. And when you see the guy, his work ethic, how he approaches the situation, how he enjoys, the passion alone is what, you know, gravitated me towards you. Yeah. And I saw that through Instagram.
Yeah.
You know,
man, your Instagram's crazy. So
I really watched your Instagram. I'm like, you know, so I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna probably holler at you. You know what I mean? And then from there, you know, I questioned myself. I said, I wonder what he feel like when he see me hollering at him. Like, is this really Tana hollering at me? You know what I'm saying? So,
what?
But
and not only that, I saw him at he was playing pool. I saw him at my high school 10th year reunion.
Right.
I'm like, man, Santana, like we was just talking. My video, like, man, talk to him. I'm like, man, I am. Yeah, man, I am.
Get yourself together.
Man, I am. I had to check myself real quick. So, you know, I walked up to him and introduced him, and humble as he is,
he a real dude.
You know, he put the stick down. You don't walk up on nobody playing pool,
right?
You know what I'm saying? He put the stick down. He was like, shook my hand, talked to me.
Knew who you were. Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then, you know, I let him play pool. I went on. You know, it's my high school reunion, so I'm trying to,
of course.
But and then, you know, at the end of the night, before I left, I mean, he walked up to me and was like, "Hey," you know, hollered at me for a good while.
That's what's up, man.
Shoot, the cops was out there telling people to leave. But I'm in the middle.
What they gonna say?
I'm in the row. I'm in the row with Santana Mars. What y'all going through to us? We talking.
Yeah.
You know, they telling everybody else that they weren't talking to us, and I mean, they want nothing but love and strictly business. Everything he said, you know, I watched you. I hollered at you. Like now I get to see who you is, and you know, I mean, real recognize real.
Yeah, no question.
And nothing else. You know, you could tell. You could smell the fraudulent on somebody.
So look, I say your IG is a movie. Yeah. Tell people how they can get a hold of you, where they can follow you, and also I want you to stun a little bit because we talked about, hey, you could take an average Joe to this, or you train kids. Yeah. But you also train them pros too. So tell people where they can get a hold of you and stun a little bit on who you work with.
I'm gonna give y'all my number like I give everybody else.
You like Mike Jones?
Mike Jones? Who? Mike Jones? I'm this old. That's the new thing. I'm this old. I'm Mike Jones old, baby. I'm 703-349-9821. That's my number. But I mean, you can find me on Instagram at @TheCoachSavage. That's real simple, @TheCoachSavage. And I mean, the videos and movies, they speak for themselves. Yeah. I'm in cahoots with a guy that I grew up with. His name Andrew Adjemang. He videos damn near everything that I do.
He's good too.
Yeah, I think he beyond good.
Yeah, he got special.
He got and it's crazy talent. How we connected. It's off some real stuff. Like he hit me up. Like I'm transitioning my job.
Well,
like I quit my job and I'm finna do this video stuff and it was crazy. Like I was getting busy and busy and busy. I ain't had nobody to answer my messages. I mean, I don't now. I do it now just because I'm on top of my stuff. But I hit him and I was like, "Hey, bro, I got a couple guys coming to the sand." Like I was like real rushed, like damn that nervous myself. And he was like, "All right, I got you."
Wow.
And I mean, he pulled up and he think he would, you know, he talked to me. He was like, "Oh, so you know who you gonna train?" You know, a couple high school kids, man, Niles, Sewell, and damn Mo Harris pulled up.
Wow.
And he was like, "Who?" You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like this my, you know, this my first video, and this what you give me. You know what I'm saying? It's been, I've been blessing him. He been blessing me ever since. He done did the Redskins, fashion show. He done stuff for Angela Rye. Like, he everywhere, man.
It's uplifting.
Tell me this too, because I always want to go back to this because we talk about, you know, being able to, you know, kind of stamp yourself or be your own brand, and at the same time advertise yourself. You don't have to really reach out. How helpful has social media been to what you do, you know, in your profession?
I'd be broke.
I bet.
I'd be broke. I'd be working for somebody.
Right.
And that's part of the reason why I do this too. Like I wanted to wear Adidas every day.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to train every day.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to the field every day. I wanted to do everything that I did when I was, growing up. And I do that now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I bless myself by doing that. You know what I mean? And like now, social media, I mean, we shoot videos every day, pictures every day. Like I have, and that's part of a job too now. You know, you gotta have something to post. Otherwise, it's kind of like being a club promoter. If you ain't there,
ain't giving them nothing.
If you ain't giving them nothing, they ain't coming in.
Exactly.
You know, so it's that
Constant.
becomes part. Constant.
But that's you.
All day,
that's your
every
work
day.
ethic. You got that. That's easy.
Yeah, hop on live. You know, post a story, post a picture, post a video, and like you said, we went from making 1 minute clips to chopping 3 minute clips now.
Woo!
4 minute clips now, making IGTVs with 10-minute segments and stuff like that. So I grow, he grow, we grow. I mean, as Instagram grows, you gotta grow with it. Twitter grows, you gotta grow with it. So social media's done everything.
Yeah, no doubt.
Everything. That's how I get my schedule out there.
What current skins are you working with right now? I know you got a relationship with Chris. We were talking about too, right?
Oh man, he Chris Thompson. He's the first one to stamp me. I met my man in the parking lot, and he was like I told you, my first clients I met online in a message, and he was the number 9 kid in the nation.
Wow.
If that's your son, that's somebody special to work with. You messing with your scholarship money. So for his dad to stamp me, and then for me to get kids that went to Nebraska, Delaware, Ohio State, like my first line of kids, everybody went D1. Everybody was all met.
Right out the gate, your first batch.
Off the bat.
Wow.
Off the bat. Dinger.
That's a blessing.
So, yeah, and it was like he stamped me because of whatever Santana saw. You know what I mean? Whatever you saw. That's the reason he stamped me, and that's what I done ran with my whole life. Now I'm getting kids drafted. You know what I'm saying? Kids getting drafted, kids getting signed. It's crazy. Everything coming full circle. But
what people fail to realize is that, what we do for and what most of these kids are trying to do for a living, it's outside of what they do every day, whether they're with their team or professionally their club. You have to be able to go out here and find somebody that's going to get that same stuff out of you that you once experienced from whatever coach it might have been that got you to where you at. And before guys like yourself, I can say when I was coming up, you didn't have the social media.
No.
But we was doing that. And I look back at it and say, man, it's crazy how you could take a couple of schools down in Miami and Dade County that their kids from age 14, because 9th grade when you was able to start lifting weights, from 14 to when we graduated, we was in the weight room. We was doing all the stuff on the field. We was doing the extra stuff that was going to allow us to be better athletes. And it don't always help you be a better team because, teams, the only way you're going to win these games or win any game if you're with a team is with the team.
Yeah.
But it helps that athlete. It helps the guy that's that fastest, wide receiver or that fastest guy in that 100 meters or that guy like myself who was the state champion in triple jump and long jump one year. It helps him be able to really be that guy that blossom even more to show his talent to that college scout or whoever it may be trying to give him that scholarship. And so now when you see the wave has been caught on. People have caught on, and it's all through social media. Now everybody's working out and training. And the reason why I'm talking about this so, in depth, because I have a 10-year-old. He's about to be 10 in July, Savion. All Savion track buddies and football buddies, they get trained. And everybody looks at Savion, and I can tell, they don't have to say this. I'm just telling you from what I think. Everyone looks at Savion like, you're Santana Moss' son, you should be doing this and this and this. I know that, but I see the potential. I see the potential already. I say, man, you know what? He's not having the early success that most of these other kids have because guess what? Their parents riding on that kid. Their parents putting all the marbles in one basket saying, I got to go ahead and get it now. I am too in a sense, but I want him to learn how to be able to be out here amongst his brothers because these guys that he's competing with are his brothers. Learn how to compete. And when it's time to start training you, then we'll start training. Mm-hmm. Right now, go off of what you know. Yeah. So when you're out there and you're competing with them and you're showing the little flashes, that's the potential showing. and you fast enough, you can do everything, you can comprehend, you can do all that stuff. And then when I say, okay, it's time. So when he gets 10, 11, that's when I'm going to tap in and say, okay, and I'm not necessarily going to be that guy. I'm going to find somebody that's going to be able to be on them every, whether it's 2 times a week, 3 times a week. I'm going to find that person that I know I can trust that say, look, man, give it to him and break him. You know what I'm saying? Show him if he really want this is what he got to go through. Because that's what it was with me. I was able, when I turned 12, that was the first time I did something organized. From when I was 5 and 6 years old and breaking arms and being that little rough
in the street.
In the street, breaking arms, losing teeth, you name it. And coaches saw it. I'm like, look, man, I want him on my team. My mom said no. And when I turned 12, they let me out there, shoot. Hey, go ahead. And I ain't look back. But by that time, I was grooming myself. And when a coach got hold to me and told me what I wasn't doing right, it was curtains. You know what I'm saying? It was curtains. So you allow the kid to grow with what he loves. If he loves it enough, he's going to go out there and have fun with it. Then when you say, okay, now let me channel this potential I see into greatness. And so that's why, I love the fact of you guys being available nowadays, and the reason why most of you guys are even known because of the social media, because of you taking advantage of your brand and being able to stamp yourself. Even if no one ever stamp you, you can stamp yourself by showing your work.
Yeah.
And then guys like myself that either want to train with you because we still active for doing it, or have kids, we're going to go out there and give you the opportunity, because now what you can do for these kids' future is beyond any measure. You know what I mean? You can't believe what they can really take from a guy like him, because if you sit there and listen and go through some of the stuff that he's teaching you, you're going to see it again. And that's one of the things that I've learned over the years of playing this game. When somebody's coaching you something, man, pay attention. I tell my sons all the time, and my daughters, pay attention, because it's going to occur again. And that's why, when it's that time, I'm going to push him out that door and say, okay, it's time to train. And Savy, he bugs me all the time, Dad, I want to train her. Because it's common now.
Yeah.
All the kids are doing it. But like I say, I've been around kids that when I was a kid, they was the best in the world. They was the best. And guess what? When it came high school time, they was burnt. They were burnt out. They was either burnt because they was over, worked, or they just didn't have it, or they never really had a passion for what they was doing.
Right.
They was doing because the parents wanted it more than them.
Right.
And see, I saw that. So, I sit back. I be mad. I be like my dad. I tell the story all the time. When I played, I thought it was never a good game. I heard my damn dad every day. He cursed me out every game, And now I see myself doing that to my sons. Yeah. And Savy, he's the last one up. Santana done graduated, and he don't want to play ball.
He wasn't interested anyway.
But he was good at it. And I was impressed with that, just knowing that he waited his turn. When it was time, he went out there and gave his all. And I'm happy with that. But Savy out the womb, he wanted to do it. So I say, you know what, this remind me of myself. Let me see what he got. And just because you're my son don't mean you're supposed to be good. But I see the potential. I see the same potential that I saw or knew that I had when I was coming up. And the difference is of him and my era, we was in them streets all day.
Right.
We was able to go up against the next guy down the street, so we was going to end up being better anyway. You know what I mean? That guy was pushing me half of the time. So by the time I touched somebody's organized club that was going to teach me whatever,
through war.
I was ready already. Woo. I was ready the different kind of way. I was groomed in those games where guys 18 years old say, hey, man, knock on your door, and your daddy comes to the door checking them like, what's up? What you want with my son? Oh, no, we want him to play football. And he looking at me, making sure that it ain't no, somebody trying to come pump me.
Right.
You sure no, I'm playing. Yeah, I know them. All right, you can go play. And you see a couple of guys get carted off or get escorted to the damn nearest hospital in a helicopter, because that's how those games were.
Woo.
So if you 12 years old, you playing with 18-year-olds, ain't no high school gonna fear me. I ain't fear. I ain't scared of no high school player, because I'm out here seeing guys get carted off and getting sent home in a damn helicopter in a Sandlot game. So it's different times though. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these kids don't come up that way. And that's why I say that's why I'm so intrigued with the guys that do what you do, because just because I played the game don't mean I should be able to teach your kid to be the best. But I know I have a background and I know I have a passion for it. I just don't have the time all the time.
Especially someone like Savage too, who's putting that type of mentality in an athlete looking to go to the next level, or a child looking to go to the next level. He's going to put a touch of that fieriness and intensity into that kid with that training session as well.
Yeah, then I'm going to tell him I love him.
Right.
Straight up.
Yep.
Build them up, break them down, tell them you love them.
Yeah.
That's it.
If I ain't saying nothing, I ain't care.
Exactly.
That's right.
If I didn't say nothing, I don't care. I'll take your money and buy some Yeezys.
Yeah. That's straight up. That's real.
Nah, for real. I'll
Yeah.
take your money. But if you walk in my doors, you're a reflection of me.
No doubt.
You know, so and like you said, with social media now, they want to tag the video. They want to be tagged. They want to be in the video. They want their own video. They want, even if they're not in the video, they're gonna say I was at the training event. So everybody got to be up to par. We can't have no weak link. And like you saying, like, man, when I train, I'm vocal. You gonna know when you wrong. You gonna know when you right. You gonna know when you fresh. You gonna know you driven.
Sure.
You gonna know everything. You gonna know everything in between. But all 12 guys in the room, like you said, from the neighborhood, everybody else gonna know too. We all like you said, this is a family. We all learning from each other. You know what I mean? You got a whole nother team. That's why my training, for my group sometimes be late at night because I want you to be with your team.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna come and get this other aspect that you need too.
Mm-hmm.
Savage, I wish I had you to train me for golf, man, because I went to 89 Ways to Give golf tournament hosted by my boy Santana here. And let's just say my game ain't up to par, Savage, but it was a beautiful event, though, Tana. I'm going to let you speak on it, man.
Nice event.
I still am shocked. You told me off air before we went on that was the first one.
First one for me.
Tana, I've gone to countless golf tournaments, and that was so well done. I complimented Carmen, too, your manager. It was so well done. I was shocked that this was the first one. I just can't believe it. It was so seasoned and put together and organized and awesome. You did a great job, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
Yeah, credit to them people. I mean, the ones you just spoke of, Steve, Carmen, Kate, they behind the scenes, they just make me look well. Made me look that much better. And it's funny because, like you said, you've been to countless. I've been to countless. I'm going to one tomorrow morning, actually, out in Delaware. And folks came up to me numerous times, like, Tana, this is well put together. You can sign. I'm ready for next year already. I'm signing up for next year, and that's what I wanted to give them. Anything I touch or anything I do, when my name behind it, I want it to be almost like, you know what, man, I just had a party. I just came from a party. I came from a good time. Whatever Tana he's involved with, he's going to make sure that, you have that warm feeling, like, you at home. And that's what I wanted. I wanted the music to be bumping early in the morning. I wanted, we was blessed with some of the, our first ladies, Redskins first ladies. And, for them to come out and support me, they've been supporting me. I've been supporting them. It's great to just always have the people that matters the most behind you. And, I credit a lot of those folks, those players that I played with, with the Skins and just the guys I played against. You name it. You saw Eddie Royal. You saw Plexico Burris. You had Lee Evans. All these guys showed up, man, on my behalf and just, gave everybody us, showed everybody else a good time. And that allows you to put on a good event, having everybody up there for a great cause. And I'm looking forward to next year, but I know we have so much other things in store, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
That's what I was going to say. Make sure you go to 89waystogive.org for upcoming events, because one thing about you and Coach Savage, neither one of y'all sit still, so I know if something else is in the pipeline. I already know, Tana.
You got to hustle, baby. You know it. But I want to give a special shout out to some of my sponsors before we move on. Adidas, I got to mention those guys. Podcast Village, the crib. That's what we call the crib, man. Podcast Village was one of the big sponsors. Maryland Live, Bob and Maryland Live, Coca-Cola, Panna Stonewall Energy Station, and Tito's. Hey,
Tito's,
you can never get enough of Tito's.
Savage. Tito's was in the building.
So guess who won? Won the whole round. Remember the guys that was behind me, that they was waiting on me all the time? We was on a hole, and their ball was actually landing by us. And we sitting there like,
damn!
We either just that slow or that guy just skyrocketed one. And so, they took home the first place trophy. I actually got a chance to take home one because Fred Smoot didn't show up, but we understand, Smoot, you had work. So I took home Fred Smoot trophy. So Smoot, even though you didn't show up, I'm gonna keep it. I ain't letting you have it. I'm gonna keep it since it's my first inaugural event. I'm gonna go ahead and keep one of those first place trophies.
I couldn't wait to see Smoot. I just wanted to ask him about his Game of Thrones, because everyone was complaining about it.
I'm complaining.
So
suck.
Really?
Man,
were you pissed off?
I'm beyond pissed.
Damn.
It was whack this season, man. I'm saying like we waited all these damn months.
They said they rushed it.
You could tell.
Okay.
But then they say they have something coming. They have a prequel. So they have a whole season of how it started, how all these guys became who they are. You know what I mean? So I'm ready to see that. So hopefully, that's better than what
Savage,
we saw.
you watch that?
I don't watch this.
Me either.
I don't watch this. I ain't seen
I respect it, though.
Savage out there blowing whistles at 8 o'clock at night, man. He ain't got no time to watch no shows.
I don't even use no
You
whistle.
don't need no whistle, huh?
I use me.
Savage got his real life Game of Thrones. He running it.
Yeah, I don't use no whistle.
That's what's up, man.
Hey, I don't watch that.
I want to get into some Redskins talk. Look, we got all offseason to talk about that open quarterback battle, so we'll get to that another time. I want to go to taking L's, to be honest with you, Tana, because to me, I think it's the Redskins' defense, specifically the linebacking core. Reuben Foster goes down with a non-contact ACL tear, the third snap into day one of OTAs. They said he stepped on a lineman's foot. Now, this thing was so severe, they were talking about nerve damage and all kinds of – what in the hell, man?
That's a major loss. It's a major loss, but I still believe that, with the defense being the way they are right now, they revamped that thing enough to where I don't even think that those guys up front going to make anybody better behind them.
True.
I truly believe that, and but it is a major loss because they went out the way to pick up Reuben, giving him the opportunity that teams probably wouldn't have given him.
They dealt with a lot of BS.
He was able to escape whatever he had looming over him. And they was able to get a little pat on their shoulder for saying that, okay, well, maybe that decision you made was the great decision or the best decision. And then now, boom, the season is months away.
Yep.
And we already talking about what ifs with dealing with injuries with the Redskins. This is a revolving door right now when it comes to the same conversation is coming up about these guys. And we know the last 2 seasons alone, these guys had 40-plus guys on IR. So now to be into 2019 season with a promising talent in Reuben Foster going down in the third play of OTAs, I try to be careful as I can when I talk about injuries or anything that can, cause them or any reason that you might think of. And I don't know if these guys got some kind of hex on them. So I'm going to knock on wood, knock on my head. That's more wood than anything else in here. But they have to find a solution for a lot of this stuff. And I heard they have a guy that's supposed to be a specialist this year that's working in, with the training staff that's going to be seeing what's occurring, these injuries or how they occurring. But I believe that beyond that, I think highly of the guys who the physical, the weight training staff. Yeah. I think highly of them, Chad, and a lot of those guys I know. They need to dive in too and say, man, what can we do more to strengthen these guys up and make sure that we're not, missing out on anything that we're supposed to be doing, so we can, find a way to nip this in the bud. Because I can't see another year with these guys going down that path, having a potentially, contender in the team,
and injuries,
and then injuries, kind of have you depleted like that. And I think when you look, being a head coach and Gruden, I think that has to even, have him sleeping hard at night. Like, man, not sleeping well, because every year we saw these guys with the potential enough to say, hey, they can be the division leaders. They can go out there and see a postseason.
Injuries decimate them.
Injury decimate them. And then beyond the injuries, just having that opportunity washed away is more than anything, And the only way you keep your job in anything you do is being the best or one of the best. You have to always at the end of the day, when you finish doing what you're doing, your boss got to, like how we just stamped Savage, your boss got to be able to say, I'm happy with what I've seen. I'm happy with what you showed me. The only way Coach Gruden could be around here today if those guys go out there and produce. The only way those guys are going to be able to produce if they can be able to produce, healthy enough to produce. So to see these guys right now in OTAs and having a talent in Reuben, and I think the only thing other than him with his problems off the field has been, can he stay healthy?
Injury.
You know what I mean? So now to have that blow, it's a blow. It is an L for the defense and the organization because of what they went through to get him and because of what he could have been. But I truly believe that with those guys that we have up front, you can plug a guy back there that has either the same potential or even it's a couple of guys we have on the team. We have another Foster that I believe in.
I like him too.
We have a couple of other.
And you know he a savage too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
He dipped in the mashed
we have
potatoes,
a couple of,
baby.
we have a couple of other guys that I won't say their names, but we'll be talking about them in weeks to come.
No doubt.
That
Hey,
I feel like they can have a chance. You know.
That's because my man Sean
ahead.
Dion,
Go ahead. There you go.
and my man
Yeah.
Josh Harvey,
Yeah.
hey, they could ball.
Yeah, they ready.
Okay.
They ready.
Hey, both
They
of
ready.
them my mans.
They
You know,
ready.
and I mean, I don't know all the other guys. I mean, you in the league, so they see something right in you.
Mhm.
Right.
But I ain't even gonna lie, my guys can run, and
Yeah.
that's
That's what you need in
That's
this
what the game is. It's a passing league.
Yeah,
Sean Dion can run. I just talked to him the other day, and we were talking about being at the beach, training at the beach. You know, and he was like, "Bro, got me coming in and out these breaks. You got these hips right." And that's why that's why I be tagging, man. Hips are us.
Yeah.
I know they close towards our us, but I'm wide open. I'm wide open.
Now, you someone who has dealt with knee injuries yourself. When you
Yeah.
saw the Reuben Foster news, I imagine you had to just cringe.
You saw him in the gym training. I made him turn off TV.
Mm.
I don't like seeing that.
Ugh.
Like when I seen Alex Smith like happen before they was reporting. I seen the pop through the sock, and like, yeah, I kind of feel it. I see it. Make my stomach hurt. You know, it's very unfortunate. I tore my ACL twice. I done had arthritis since I was 19.
Mm.
I'm 29. That's 10 years, and I still move how I move and train who I train and do what I do on a daily basis. You know, but to see somebody go like that, you know exactly what their brain is going through. You know, if not more. You know, because they're going through it themselves and whatever else they're going through. You know, the injury is just the surface. You know, so to see something like that, man, it's very unfortunate. It's terrible, terrible.
I will say I do feel like nowadays it is, I don't want to use the word easy, but it seems to be a little more accommodating for a player to come back from ACL injury than, say, 10, 15 years ago.
It is.
Am I right?
It is, but the blow is just that season washed away.
That season's gone.
You know, and that's the blow. And I feel for anybody that go through any injury because, you know, we talked about it the other day on Chad Deuce's show. You know, he was able to come and do his show, you know, at my golf tournament, and me and D Hall both sat down and we talked about the injury. We talked about, you know, does these practices even matter? And D Hall had his, you know, way of looking at it, and I shared my way. And I say, you know what, to be honest with you, I think different strokes for different folks. And the reason why I say that, if you're a defensive back, it really might not matter. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be given an assignment and say, hold down half of this side, hold down the whole side, or take that man. As a receiver, I need to touch the ball from the quarterback. I need to see how the line is. You know, I need to see all this stuff fitting up. So it matters for me. I need to see how this guy coming with this ball. I need to see if I need to make sure he knows my timing is going to be efficient, it's going to be right. So, like I say, different strokes for different folks. When you hear around across the league that this guy haven't showed up, whatever suits them, then do that. Me, I might not come for the little bull crap that you do in the weight room because I'm going to do that at home. But when it comes to we starting blowing whistles, since you don't blow whistles, I'm telling you, when they start blowing that whistle, and those guys out there in helmets, I want to be there. And so, more than anything, you got to pray.
Yeah,
honestly, I didn't make it through 14 years. Look, bro, my first 4 years was hell. Tell folks to this day, no offense to New York, I love you. But half of the reason why I don't appreciate New York because it was misery for me.
You got hurt on Fan Appreciation Night,
I got hurt on the first time the fans could come out and see me strut my stuff. Bro, and I'm so superstitious. I'm one of those guys, man. If I go through something, I don't want to remember that.
I feel you.
So New York was misery because of what I was going through. And it wasn't nothing wrong with the city. I loved it, especially Manhattan. It wasn't nothing wrong with the fans. I loved it because they was hard. They made you go out there and earn your name, earn your keep. And it wasn't nothing wrong with half of the staff. You know what I'm saying? I say half because you got a couple of guys you might not agree with. But half of the reason why I don't want to step foot in New York, and when I do, it's in and out, is because I think of bad times. And I'm a guy that like to cut those at the door. I'm a positive guy. I want positive energy all the time. So, you know, just to know that, you know, that kind of stuff occur, you be like, look, man, you know what I mean? You have to be prayed up. Around this time, they asked me, Tana, do you feel like? I said, look here, man. I train hard as I can, build the base, the strongest base I can build. See, one of the things I love, and then see, that's one of the reasons why I reached out to you, because I have a guy in Andrew Swayze who trained me throughout my Miami days. Now, throughout my high school days, I had a coach, Coach Walt Frazier. Guess what? Andrew Swayze was coached by Walt Frazier, same school. And it was so familiar. I was like, damn, I've been doing this since I was 14. So in high school and college, I had the same coach, basically. Until when I got to the league, guess what? I'm going home to the same coach. After I tore my knee, had my meniscus tear, and I need to get back in shape, I went home. I said, that, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home, and Swayze saw me walk through that door. Let's get right, Tana. And it was every year. And so that's why I'm able to, chime in a little bit and say, hey, man, I like what you're doing. I'm interested, because I know what it's like to be doing your thing and be doing the right thing. So a lot of these guys have to know how to build that base. And even these guys who supposed to be your weight training coaches and all that stuff, they need to know how to sustain that base. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't build something and then we gonna come tear you down. I learned that through Swayze and Coach Frazier. I'm not gonna allow myself to be as strong as possible, and then when we go ahead transform to now we with the team, I'm gonna start winding down. My stuff gonna start, crumbling because we're not doing the things to sustain what I built. So
be versatile.
That's why it's not even that. It's just about doing. Like, I gotta hold on to it. So that's why I stay in the weight room. Yeah. That's why I stay on my stuff, because people always ask me, "Tell them why you still working out?" But I stay ready.
Yeah.
I don't have to. I don't do nothing basically compared to some of the stuff I see him put his kids through. Right. I go out there and pass out with the shit that they do. Honestly, I don't have to do it no more. I did it.
I do 2 reps.
But what I do is I run. I do abs. Bike. I do my lift. I run, and then later on that day I bike. Yep. So that's like a 2-a-day for me. Yeah. But it's to my own speed. I don't have to go out there and huff and puff to try to be the best receiver or the best guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do it. I put that time, I put that work in. All that stuff paid the way for this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say when I see a lot of these injuries, especially when it's coming around this time before the season even kick off, it's about what you're doing to sustain whatever you build. Or even, did you have a chance to even build that? So it's big on eating right, living right, and then going out there and just be prayed up, man, and playing right.
I ain't gonna lie, all this talk about training make me want to put down this liquor I be drinking and all these reefers, man, and come see you, Coach Savage, man.
You ain't got to put it down.
Not the reefers.
Hey, you ain't got to put it down. Just come on in. This is like church. Man, you come out years.
Exactly. Come out years.
We take care of you. We gonna bless you out with that. Hey, however it goes down.
We appreciate you coming in, man.
I appreciate
family to the show. We're going to have you back, too, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a pleasure. Hey, matter of fact, I'm glad to be back on the Santana Moss Show podcast. I'm going to go home and change some diapers. Peace.
It's a Santana Moss Show. Number 89, hustle all the time. Travis on the right, hot mic on the left. Every single week.